Welcome back from that break, and you're still in conversation with Hrithik Shokeen. We've gone through his early days. We've gone through how it was like being picked for the Mumbai Indians in the auction. We've gone through how he's not a dancer and he's not named after Hrithik Roshan. So now we're going to get more into the cricket, right? So, Hrithik, you have the distinction of being the first ever impact player used in India, right? And IPL has introduced this rule too. We've discussed it at length in our IPL preview. So if you haven't heard that, go and have a listen. Um, we are still, I think, trying to understand how this will impact everything. I know it impacts fantasy cricket because we play a lot of fantasy cricket league and stuff. But now you can't just put the starting 11 players in your
Mm.
team. But first of all, you were the impact player for Delhi. So you came on in the second innings and bowled your whole quota in the SMAT game where it was first used. So tell us how you think this will be used strategically, and also there's a element that you can't swap a foreign player or an overseas player for another overseas player. You can only swap them for an Indian player in that IPL team. So, how do you think this is all going to play out? How will it be used tactically? Do you think it'll lead to more opportunities for domestic Indian players? So, your thoughts on the impact player
Yeah, of
rule?
course, it will be a big opportunity for Indian players, especially the newcomers and youngsters like us, because it will affect. I think it will affect both of the game, like for opponents and for us too, because whenever you'll need a bowler in the team, that player will be there, and whenever you need a proper batsman, that you can send the player. We can use it's really good, I think.
No, but tell me, will it affect? Because you, I think, yes, I know you were made a bowler, but you're in your mind, you're an all rounder, right? Do you think it'll affect? Do you think it'll affect the value of players like yourself, like an all rounder, where um maybe you'll play more specialists, like the Punjab team used to have five bowlers, five batsmen, and a wicket keeper, whereas Mumbai traditionally had lots of all rounders like the Pollards, Krunal, Hardik, all of these guys, right? So is it going to affect the way teams are set up a little bit?
नहीं, मुझे लगता नहीं है कि कोई ज़्यादा कंफ्यूजन होगी इस इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर की वजह से, क्योंकि आई थिंक whenever the after the toss you have to you know send the team to the umpire that you will play this team.
Mm,
If you are bowling first,
mm,
you'll have some different team, and if you are batting first, then you'll have different team. So it will be quite exciting
mm,
to see what will happen this
mm.
year, because it's like
Yeah.
quite new rule for everyone. Plus IPL impact rule is different than smart impact rule. Yeah, there we had to
How is it
yeah,
different?
there we had to give
Yeah.
15 people, like whole team. So 11 would be playing, and after that you will announce the impact rule later or on that time. But right now you have to give two teams. If for bowling and for batting, you will announce the team after the toss. So it's quite nice and quite exciting.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So, looking forward to this impact
Yeah, me
player
too.
rule because it's exciting. It's
It is.
exciting. Now, again, we'll go back to you being born in the 2000s, Ritik, right? And I'm obsessed with this because I find it fascinating that um, someone who's born in the IPL era is now playing the IPL. But also, something else happened in 2008. India won the Under 19 World Cup under certain Virat Kohli. And so I've read in reports that you bowled to Virat Kohli in the nets to help him prepare for the challenge of the Australian off spinners, Nathan Lyon and Todd Murphy, and these guys. Now, for a kid growing up in the 2000s, Virat Kohli is the absolute ultimate player that you could bowl to, right? Like, what was it like helping him prepare for that challenge of playing in Australia? And of course, he got that magnificent 186, which so clearly the work paid off.
I don't think like any player which I bowl to, that he's a big player or he's a person like Virat Kohli. He's my idol. But whenever I bowl to someone, I think he's just a normal batter, and I will bowl to him that to his weaknesses and whatever I can find off whenever he's batting. But like I liked his way of thinking. He scratched the pitch and made spots for the off spinners like me. That yeah,
Outside
yeah,
off stump.
outside off stump. So we will pitch the ball here there and it turns a lot. So it was quite difficult for him. And it was the feet were
A-
moving so fast I couldn't understand that. So it was really great and great experience.
And then you bowled over the wicket as well as
Yeah,
around the
around the
wicket for
wicket,
him.
over the wicket. I was just trying to be the best of me to just get him out, but he wasn't so easy to bowl to.
So did you get him out?
This
And
is
this
this
is
is
with
very
your Mumbai Indians
controversial.
hat on, with your Mumbai Indians hat on.
This is very controversial, so I can't say if I got him out or not.
Okay, fine. In the nets, anyway, there are fielders everywhere, right? If you're a bowler, whenever I go to the nets, the
Yeah,
bowler, anywhere you hit the
everywhere it
ball in
was
the air,
fielder,
it's
but
out.
he was so focused. He
And the
wasn't
batter says, "No,
he
that's
wasn't
four."
talking. He was just looking at the wicket and what he's gonna do next.
Okay, and how long were these sessions every day, or how many hours did you
He
see
came
bowl to
one
him in
hour
the net?
earlier from the team, so it was like 1 hour bowling to him and then bowling to the rest of the team. So it was quite exciting.
Right. And did he give you any tips at the end of that, or did he just do his work and then leave?
I
Did he
I
give you
didn't want
any
to
thoughts on
I
your
didn't want
bowling?
to disturb him too much, so I didn't talk to him. He talked to many other people, but I was just I didn't want to disturb him and disturb his focus. To be honest,
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. It seems like a great
yeah, it was.
experience for you to have bowled to Virat to help him prepare more than anything else, right? Like it's clearly the job of young players to help other players as well, and it's almost an honor that you were picked as being good enough to mimic a Nathan Lyon or a
Hmm.
Todd Murphy. I mean, Todd Murphy wasn't known then, but like obviously Nathan Lyon, everybody knew the threat. So um, that's quite an amazing opportunity. But speaking of, Virat's been a big champion of red ball cricket throughout his career. And you mentioned very briefly during the IPL auction that okay, let's focus on red ball cricket, right? Um, Between red ball and white ball cricket, Hrithik, the challenges are obviously different. So, for a player like you that's grown up in an era of so much white ball cricket, so much IPL cricket, so much T20 cricket, where does red ball cricket sit in that order of of importance? Not importance, more than what are your ambitions in red ball cricket against white ball cricket? I guess that's the
I think
question.
I rate red ball cricket the highest because it's the cricket of class and cricket of discipline. Because whenever you have to bowl with a red ball, you have to be really accurate about the lines and the lines you bowl and you have to think of every session you are about to bowl. So you bowl with the new ball, then after some overs, again the new ball comes. So you have to bowl really specifically to the batsman and make plans about the batsman, what he's gonna do. Is he too defensive? Is he too attacking? So what field, in and out field, all these things. It's too much fun to be honest. It gets in your nerves after a while when the batsman is got not getting out, but it's really fun to bowl with red ball. But I like in Delhi we focus on more on white ball. But I like bowling with red ball a lot because I practice with red ball a lot. I it turns a lot. It turns more than white ball. So I think yeah, I get very excited bowling with red ball.
Okay, very good, very good. Now the IPL will have started by the time this episode releases. So what are your goals in the upcoming IPL? Of course, you played last year. So today is what this year is a new year. It's a fresh challenge. How are you preparing for that challenge?
I don't want to think too much about what will happen. To be honest, I don't think too much about the future. I think about my process, like what I'm gonna do and what I have to do. Just execute that, and then whatever happens, happens. To be, I'm not a big thinker of the future. I'm just stay in the present kind of guy.
Okay, very good, Very good. You should be a diplomat. You've got a career in diplomacy coming up. Stay in the future. Control the controllables.
Hmm.
Very good. Very good. Badhiya. Been trained well.
No,
Media
no, no.
training is working. Uh, so okay, so we've had a great time actually talking to you, Ritik, and I know you're busy and you've got training to do and things like that. So I'm going to let you go. But before you go, can you give us one piece of advice, one funny story, or something you want to tell young cricketers, like people who are going to be listening to this? Maybe there's a Ritik at age 8 sitting and listening to this, and they may be like, ah, I should do this. What is the one piece of advice that you'd like to tell them, and what is one funny story that you'd like to give them before you leave our show?
One one piece of advice I would like to give is don't think what others are thinking about you. You know what you will do the best for you. कोई दूसरा कुछ भी कह रहा है, कुछ भी कह रहा है. Don't think about that. You know
So don't
who
go on
you
social
are. You
media.
know what you need to be work on. Just focus on that.
Yeah. Do you read all your social media
Me, no,
comments?
no, I don't. No, no.
No, no. Okay. Because that's one of the things in that Cricket Fever documentary. Sometimes you see that players can get agitated reading what is
No,
being
no.
said about them on social media. So lots of players, I
When
think, don't
see
don't read it.
like UV Pass said, जब तक बल्ला चल रहा है ठाट है, you know. But बल्ला एक ना एक दिन तो चलेगा ही. So सबका एक ना एक दिन तो
Mm,
मुंह बंद होगा ही. So you can't think of anything
mm,
else other than doing your work. So I think that's the best
correct.
advice I can give to any youngsters.
Go to the office, do
Yeah,
your
yeah.
work, and come
Do
back.
your work and be there 100% mentally. Just stay focused.
Very good. And any funny stories you want to leave our listeners with? Anything funny that's happened
Funny, I don't know, funny.
recently?
Recently, so I played, so I played DY Patel, okay, and it was really good tournament for me. I scored runs, I took wickets, but there was this tournament there, the Gully Cricket one tournament. So everyone was like, Hrithik is there, Hrithik is there. So I went there. I played 3 matches, played 2 balls. One match I got run out without playing any ball. 2 matches, first ball. So
Golden.
it was like कि वो कह रहे यार क्या बंदा है ये, इसे बुलाया हमने. मैंने कहा सॉरी यार.
असली ऋतिक को लेके आओ यार, ये किसको लेके आए हो? पाक बीन
हाँ,
ले आए तुम?
बस वही. It was really crazy.
Oh wow. That's cricket for you though, right? And I think that's as good a note as you could ever have on which
Yeah,
to end this podcast. One day you're high, you're man of the tournament at a big tournament, and the next day you're playing one tip, one hand in the gully, and you're
that's cricket. That's
three
cricket, to be
games,
honest.
two, one diamond duck
Yeah,
and two
I
golden ducks.
swear it was.
Wow,
I was feeling so bad.
wow, wow. But that's why I say gully cricket is harder than real cricket.
Yeah, it is, man. Too many rules.
Too many rules. And of course, that is as good a note onto which to plug our podcast handle, One Tip One Hand, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Write into us. Of course, follow Hrithik's exploits this IPL. I think it's going to be hopefully it'll be a great
Thank you.
IPL for you. So all the
Thanks.
very best for that. And yeah, we look forward to having you back on the show, maybe post the IPL. And thank you again for
Sure,
giving us
sure.
your time, and take care. And we will see you soon. Good luck with the
Thanks.
IPL,
Thanks a
man.
lot. Thanks for having me.